Let's do a knock test, shall we? I mean, you can already tell that this cowl is obviously mass-produced with the price point $160. But am I gonna complain? Well, welcome everyone from What's on the Table. This is Prof G and you are watching another episode of Graded, the show where we're not just going to unbox or review a particular statue, collectible, or figure. We are actually going to give it a grade at the end of each video. So for this episode, we are gonna grade the 1:1 scale 1989 Batman Replica Cowl produced by none other than McFarlane. Now, when this one was first announced, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think about it too much as I knew already that I had to get this right away. I mean, there are not a lot of life-size Batman cowls floating around in the market with this price point, so this one was a no-brainer. Now, the big question would be, if you're a toy collector and you know the quality McFarlane gives, will it also reflect on this piece? Now, when you do some research, this cowl is priced at $160 from various online stores, but check this out. I only got this from MG Toys and Collectibles for only 6,750 pesos, which is roughly around $116 if you convert it. I don't know how he was able to give it to me at that price point, but if you're watching this now and you're from the islands, MG Toys still has stocks and I suggest you get one as the prices from other online stores, they're already going up. Thanks, Mike. Now, right in front of you is the box of the McFarlane 1989 life-size replica cowl. And first impression when we carried this is that it's surprisingly so light, really light. Now, it doesn't automatically mean that it's of a bad quality or of cheap quality. We gotta remember the price point of this cowl is only averaging $160. Good box and packaging, very simple, nothing fancy, but once this is displayed, you would probably forget that this box exists anyway, so let's open it up and have it on display. My collector friends, this is the life-size 1989 Batman Cowl replica by McFarlane. Now, we didn't need to show you the assembly process of this one as it's pretty much straightforward where you snap pieces in place, although the reality of this is once you've assembled this, you probably won't choose to disassemble it again as, well, for lack of a better explanation, you can't because everything is already snapped in place. First impression is, well, you got what you paid for. No complaints, and before you say that, oh no man, it looks like a toy or it looks like a cheap replica and all that, where are all the texture from the cowl, yada yada yada?
Daddy, chill.
I don't think it's meant to be 100% accurate that they had to put in those texture in the cowl. Like I said, you got what you paid for and you can't compare it to other projects, let's say from a company like Pure Arts where they're selling a much more accurate looking 1989 Batman cowl with all the texture and detail. But it's worth 4 times more than the McFarlane one, so guys,
Daddy, chill.
it still looks great, especially for a lot of people who wants to own a cowl of Batman but realistically doesn't want to spend that much for a display. But before we dive deeper, let's do a knock test, shall we? Knock tayo dyan. Yup, that's what it sounds like, so you can already imagine what type of quality you're getting. But looking at the angles and the details and the overall shape and design of it, I say that McFarlane did a pretty good job in making this. Of course, you're probably gonna see some minor imperfections on the sharp angles like the color and texture inconsistency, and since this is made out of plastic and matte material, you will inevitably see those oil marks and fingerprints on it if you're not too careful. Kinda like what I did right there. Now, Harvey, our director, had some intrusive thoughts and said, what if we put a light inside the cowl and it would probably look badass, right? So we did, and this is what it looks like. Now I got mixed reactions on this one. See, yeah, it kind of looks great as you will see some light casts and shadows from the inside. But the downside is of doing that, you're gonna see the imperfections from the mold on the inside. You're gonna see the waves and the bubbles, but you know, I get it. More often than not, you're not gonna see this anyway, this inside part of the cowl anyway, so it doesn't bother me one bit. Lastly, and I cannot emphasize this enough, the piece itself is very light, like really light. I mean, you can already tell that this cowl is obviously mass-produced with the price point $160, but am I gonna complain? Well, heck no, not at all. I love this and I'm gonna display this on a side table or something. Oh look, I already did that. And I know McFarlane is gonna continue this trend of creating life-size replicas of the cowls, so you gotta watch out for those as well. They've already done the 1/3 scale cowls, which we will grade also in the future. So for this 1:1 life-size 1989 Batman Replica Cowl by McFarlane, again, if you just want a good-looking centerpiece or side table piece for a cowl, I would recommend getting this. Given the price point and the quality, I think it's fair and you're gonna get what you paid for. In a good way. Having said that, I am going to give it a grade of 8.1. With the price point and the demand for good-looking Batman figures and pieces out there, expect that this will be harder to find in the future. So if you see it, if you like it, don't think twice. Just pull the trigger and get it. Thanks again for watching another episode of Graded. If you like this video, please give me a solid by subscribing to the channel and turning on the notification bell. Or just give me a shout at the comment section below. If you own this 1989 Batman Replica Cowl by McFarlane and would give a different grade, please let me know also in the comment section below. Thanks again, this is Prof G and you just watched another episode of Graded. See you all on the next one.